Hello, everybody, and we are live. The Habs game has just finished not about 5-10 minutes ago, and I have my board ready. No, I do. I have it ready. Fourth goal, but thankfully I didn't. That was a Habs game. That was definitely a Habs game, and it was a typical Wild game for this year as well. It was a it was a typical Minnesota Wild game, but the Habs came out. It was a typical Minnesota Wild game, which meant the Habs came out on top. The 4-0 victory. Carey Price gets his first shutout of the year. I believe they said he's one behind on Ken Dryden. I believe Dryden has 47, something around there. We're going to go over the stats, and then we're going to go over the actual game. So, yeah. In terms of goal scorers, Gallagher and Drouin still lead the way. Gallagher with 3 goals, 4 assists. Drouin now with 2 goals, 5 assists. They're on pace for about 82 points each, which if they get that, that'll be perfect. Domi with 3 goals and 3 assists for 6 points. Tatar, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. Armia with his 4th goal tonight, his 2nd on the power play for this year. We'll get into that later. 4 goals, 1 assist for 5 points. Yarturi Lettinen, 1 goal, 3 assists for 4 points. Philip Deneau and Jeff Petrie each with 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 points. Shea Weber with 3 assists and with 3 points. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, 2 goals. Nate Thompson with 2 assists for 2 points on the season thus far. Ben Sherratt and Jordan Weal with 1 goal, 1 assist. Victor Mete, finally, after 137, finally gets his first NHL goal. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist on the year so far. And then Cousins, Riley, Suzuki, Foley, Byron, and Kulak each with an assist. Cale Fleury is the only Hab who's played who does not have a point yet in the NHL. Interesting to note, actually, Jordan Weal did not play tonight. He was scratched in favor of Nick Cousins, who got an assist. I believe it was on the Victor Mete goal. So that's interesting to note. His first NHL point is an assist, and Jordan Weal was scratched for that. Probably worth it, though. Arguably would have been more worth it to scratch Byron since he's been very cold this year thus far, but understandable. Weal doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you scratch Weal or Byron. Habs got the win tonight. I'm happy. Our record is now 3-2-2 for 8 points on the season. We are currently 4th in the Atlantic. They were more than likely 5th if Tampa wins tonight because they're tied with us no matter what, because I saw they went to overtime with the Bruins. And, yeah, so we could be 5th in the Atlantic. But if the Tampa Bay Lightning win, we are 8th in the East. But right now, as of recording this, we are 7th in the East. I'm not going to check it because I don't want to have any more dead air than I already have usually. Last game, this one obviously, Canadiens win 4-0 over the Wild. That's great. Power play, 6 for 29. We didn't score any power play goals. I believe we had 2 opportunities, I want to say, tonight. Power play didn't look that great, I'll admit. Early on, didn't look that great. But as the game went on, power play, when we got on it looked quite well. No, I believe we did get a power play goal, actually. I think we did. I'll have to check my notes. Penalty kill, we are 17 for 23. That's quite well if you ask me. We didn't allow a goal on the power play this time. Obviously, you can tell by the 0 for the Minnesota Wild. But our penalty kill is definitely getting better, despite allowing a goal on the power play in the first 5 games. As of right now, knock on wood, we've been quite well on the penalty kill. We've killed off 17 penalties, and I believe including like 6 tonight, actually. Goals leaders are Joel Armia with 4 goals, though Max Domi and Brendan Gallagher can easily catch Joel Armia as early as the next 2 games, I would think, considering we're against St. Louis and Minnesota again in St. Louis and Minnesota. Those are actually going to be at 5, so I'm more than likely going to be up here around 8 or 8:30, I would think. Latest would absolutely be 9 because it's not playoffs. Overtime doesn't go long, so yeah. I'm hoping it's 5-2-2, but I'll take 3-2-4 if we go that far. Assist leaders, Jonathan Drouin with 5 assists on the year so far. Drouin's been quite well. He's definitely turned it around this year. And it almost makes me regret saying we should trade him, though I don't know. Given now, if we were to trade him, we could probably get back something big for him. I don't want to do that though right now, but if we were to, as long as we got a good return for him, I would be happy with that. Home record, we are now 2-2-0, and our away record is obviously 1-0-2. We've yet to record a loss on the road, but that is going to be tested in our next 2 games against St. Louis and Minnesota, where we're in St. Louis and Minnesota. So, yeah, and of course, Borsdi, as you should know, my board's name is Borsdi, or Borsdi. It's Mexican. You also know that by now. We're going to get right into the game stats now, or the game stats. I should say my notes. My notes for this game. Well, it is my yearly notes. It's just all right. So early on, the Habs seemed ready. The Habs, unlike last game against the Lightning, where they didn't look ready, this game they did look ready right from the opening. From opening faceoff, I found that the Habs, they looked ready to go. They were like, okay, we're at home. We laid an egg in the last game. We allowed 3 straight goals when we were up by 1. Let's go out and let's show we can still do something with this team. And so the Habs, they went on a power play about, I want to say 5 or 6 minutes in with Parise high-sticking Brendan Gallagher, who you're going to be hearing quite a lot of this year, Brendan Gallagher. The Habs not playing the best on the power play, though. They seemed like they half-assed it for this first one, at least I find. Drouin moved on the rush into the zone from the back of his net into the Wild zone. I haven't seen him move like that with Montreal at all, really. He's absolutely turned it around since that standing ovation and the crowd really showed like, hey, we do like you. So I'm definitely very happy about that. Fleury with a nice shot with Domi and Drouin setting him up. But sadly, Fleury cannot get into the back of the net for his first point as a Montreal Canadian and make this game 1-0 with what he would have gotten as the game winner. It was a pretty slow game, aside from a couple shots. It was pretty slow. I want to say by the 10-minute mark, the shots were, I want to say it was 4-3, 4-2 for Montreal. Obviously, it's not, a shot happens on the 7-minute mark, and that's the first shot of the game. Like I think it was with, I want to say Vancouver and the Islanders last season, where the crowd were cheering when New York got the first shot on net in Vancouver. Lettinen went to the box for a holding. It was not a good penalty to take at all. He really shouldn't have taken that penalty. Parise was hit in the face with the puck. There was a lot of puck hitting in the face that went on this game, especially for the Wild. I would not be very surprised if it came out after the game that, say, Parise, I want to say Eriksson-Ek, and I think it was Dumba, if it's revealed they're injured. I'd be very surprised if they were not injured because of what happened tonight. Parise getting hit in the face with a puck, barely flinches at first, and then he stays on the ice, so that's good for him. Danault and Byron almost get a shorthanded goal together, and then Fiala with a great chance. Kevin Fiala played well. Price is able to spot the puck. He stays with it, sticks with it, doesn't let Fiala score. And then Cousins passes it down for Mete, who shoots it into the back of the net, and he scores. Victor Mete with his first NHL goal. And I would be very surprised if they did not give him that sword, the Conan the Barbarian sword, for the best player of the game for this game. Victor Mete played extremely well tonight, and mostly due in part with him scoring the game winner. And honestly, me and my dad, we were both super excited that Mete finally scored. And we both agreed. We wouldn't be surprised if this starts him getting quite a few goals. Obviously, we're not going to expect him to put up OV numbers with 60 goals this year, but 10 to 15, maybe 20, I could see Mete doing that. Now that he's got the pressure off of scoring his first NHL goal. There was a first penalty drawn, and then I want to say was, Drouin. There was a penalty drawn. I forget what it was. I was downstairs, so I didn't get the notes ready. But Drouin then draws a slashing. Excuse me, I want to say it was a slashing. Was it a slashing? Yeah, it was a slashing, but it should have been a high sticking, really. And then it was a 5-on-3. So what do the Habs do? Yoel Armia. He gets his 4th of the year to lead the Habs in goals, aside from Domi and Gallagher, who he left in the dust pretty much with scoring that 4th goal this season, at least, of course. He scores 5-on-3 from Drouin and Weber. He scores about 15 seconds in. So the Habs went to the power play for a minute 40. That's your power play goal for the game, which it was a pretty good one. Suzuki almost tips the puck into the net, but he just couldn't get it until I actually didn't see who Suzuki scored this goal from. So there's that I wouldn't actually I would not be surprised if Tatar got an assist on that. I should actually probably check that up. I'm gonna do that real quick. My apologies. I didn't realize I didn't do this. I should have. Box score. Yeah, so Suzuki had a really nice chance. He held on it. He shot into the net, and basically the way he did it is he had the puck. He didn't shoot it right away. He waited for a moment and then shot it. That was very smart of him to do, and definitely really showed Suzuki, who I did not put on here for having a goal, actually. He should have a goal and an assist, actually. So on the fly marketing right now. This is on the fly right here. If you're just tuning into the stream, I promise I'm usually much more organized than this. I'm actually gonna do this. I'm gonna remove Cousins. I'm gonna replace Cousins and Suzuki, because I really get bothered. I'm gonna get bothered by that if I don't do it. So real quick, Suzuki, who now actually has a goal and assist, and Cousins, who of course came into and only has that one assist. That's not the greatest. Okay, so Suzuki scored from Petrie and Domi. So Domi actually leads our team. He also helps lead our team. And then Petrie, who has 5 points now. I'm doing this on the fly right now. So Armia is still not the only person. Oh wait, no, he's the only person with goal. Poopy head. All right, yeah. So Petrie gets an assist apparently. So actually, yeah, I swear, guys, I'm usually much more organized than this. So if you're just tuning in, which if you're watching the VOD afterwards, I don't know how you're just tuning in, but if you are, I promise I'm usually much more organized than this. So Petrie has 2 goals, 3 assists, and Lettinen, I want to say he has 1 goal and 3 assists, actually. I want to say he has 1 goal, 3 assists. Your Terry Lettinen, yeah, 1 goal, 3 assists. So he still has 4 points. All right, so the board is all up again, thankfully. The board is all set up. I'm really hoping to have it in better shape by tomorrow's game. I apologize for that short delay. So Suzuki scores from Petrie and Domi. Was it Domi? I think it was Domi. And that was a pretty good goal. Suzuki really showed that he doesn't need to be called down. He's good. He's good, and yeah, he's just good. So yeah, and the Habs heading into the second, they lead 3-0. The shots are 15-6 for the Habs as well. And then 2 penalties were called on the Wild. 1, and then Weber went to the box for a holding, and then after that there was a second call on the Wild. Weber's penalty should not have taken place. He should not have got that call. He held. It was blatant. He held. I want to say it was Dumba. I don't know if that hadn't been called. I would have called out the officials for not calling up. Thankfully, they did. Eriksson-Ek took 3 pucks to the face in a row after the power play, and it was all from Weber. He took 3 straight slap shots from Weber. You gotta respect him for that. And speaking of respect, Stalock played pretty well tonight. Stalock, despite allowing 3 goals thus far in the game, he made some big saves. He was there when the Wild needed him to make those saves, except when he absolutely couldn't. With at least with the games tonight, or at least with the goals that were scored on him. Tatar takes an interference penalty, and honestly, I really don't get how that was interference. Both Minnesota and Montreal player of Tatar, and I want to say, I forget who it was exactly. They were both going in front of Price, and Tatar just happened to hit the guy as he was trying to go because the Minnesota guy wanted him to go around the net. He didn't have to, obviously. So Tatar takes the penalty. That's the first call I've really disagreed with on the officials this year. Thankfully, though, it doesn't ruin Price's shutout. They Habs kill it off. And then Jason Zucker was the other guy. He was hit hard by a puck. I forget exactly where. I want to say it was in the leg, actually. Yeah, he was hit in the leg. He couldn't stand. He couldn't skate to the bench. He fell partway there. Thankfully, his teammates got him in, got him through the door, got him checked up or whatever. Zucker, I would not be surprised if he's injured because he seemed to really be hurt from that. The Habs played well after the Tatar penalty. They were trying to get pucks in the back of the net. Stalock was there. Stalock was pretty much a brick wall after that third goal. He was not letting any more pucks into the back of the net. But the Habs were definitely trying. They were definitely pushing. The Habs still led 3 shots, 22-13 as well. So aside from those 3 shots, Stalock, it's 19-3 are the shots from Montreal. He's still playing pretty well. And Price played well tonight as well. Starting off the third, the Habs still came out hard. They hope to keep the lead, and they wanted to get the W, the second W at home after getting embarrassed. I want to say it was 2 games in a row, actually. The Habs really didn't care. They wanted the W and get as many goals as possible. But yeah, the Habs. I kept writing it. They wanted the W. They wanted more goals in the back of the Wild's net. Price made some good saves when the Habs needed him, of course, as he seems to sort of do not at the beginning of the season, but as the season goes along, who knows? Maybe he thinks it's midway through the season and he has to start shaping up or something. Who knows? Wild going to the power play with a high sticking on Cale Fleury. And then they get another penalty, which I didn't see, unless that was the same penalty and I just wrote it down twice accidentally. Right after the power play, though, Matt Dumba really sucked tonight. He turns over the puck in his own zone to who? To Brendan Gallagher. You do not turn over the puck to Brendan Gallagher. If he's in your zone and you turn the puck over to him, you might as well just, all right, Stalock, go to the net. Gallagher gets the puck. Boom, scores right then and there. Unassisted, it's 4-0 Habs, his third of the year. And 3 guys are your top point scorers for the Montreal Canadiens. The Wild went to the power play after the Habs didn't like a hit. Shutout went for a roughing call. They kill it off. And then Thompson, with 30 or so seconds left, he fights with Kulin. After he accidentally high-sticked Hartman, he won the fight. It was nice to see him fighting. He's quite good. Though I do think it should have been a 4-minute, unless they were showing Kunin. No, they couldn't have been showing Kunin. Hartman, I do think it should have been a penalty, though, even if it was an accidental high sticking. I mean, to look at Crosby accidentally slashing Mark Mathot, trying to get the puck off him a few years back, that wasn't a penalty. Should have been, though, I think. Or unless it was, then it should have still been. But this, it should have been a penalty, I think. 4 minutes, technically 9 minutes, actually, because of the double minor, because there was blood, and then the 5 for fighting. Offsetting penalties with Byron going to the back, I believe going right to the back, and I forget who for the I didn't see who for the Wild, but the Habs kill off a 4-on-4. Price wins 4-0, or Montreal wins 4-0. Excuse me. Carey Price with his first shutout of the year, and he played well tonight. The shots were 32-17 for the Habs. They won 4-0. November 8th, 2014. Was the last time Montreal beat Minnesota. And, of course, there was the infamous 8-0, 8-1 loss last season, where I believe Price was kept in for 6 of them. And then we put Niemi, but we kept Price in for so long because we can't have faith in Niemi. He blows leads all the time. Tampa. So, yeah, Habs win. Habs played well tonight. If they keep this up, I can definitely see them staying in contention for a shot in the playoffs. Sadly, it seems Detroit's already out. I believe they're 9th in the East now with us getting into the playoff spot. But we'll see how things go. I feel like I'm about to start bleeding on camera. But yeah, so that's going to do it, guys. If anyone has any comments before I leave, please post them in the comments. Otherwise, I'm probably about to start bleeding. All right, so no comments. All right, thank you guys for watching. If you were here live, or if you're watching on the VOD, which is about to go up right after I finish this, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share, everything, which includes but is not limited to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and everything else. My name is Harry Rice. Subscribe to the Puff Club. Subscribe to the HD Club. My moderator, Jesse, who is not in chat right now. No one's really in chat right now. He got me this dope HD webcam that I've been using for the past 2-3 weeks, I want to say. My Twitter and my Twitch are in the description below. My Twitter I don't use too much. When I want to talk about something that I don't think would make a great video necessarily, I put my thoughts on there for the most part. If it's a subject and trending and I want to get my thoughts on it. Twitch I don't use at all right now, but if I start streaming games, I'll use that. Yada yada. My Amazon wishlist is in the description. That's the only way you can really support me if you wanted to. If you wanted to do anything extra other than liking, commenting, subscribing, favoriting, and all that, that's the only way you can do that right now. I don't have a PayPal or anything. My letterbox is also in the description. That's where I will go to review and rate movies. Mostly just rate them. Reviews are mostly going to be on this channel, I think, from now on. But yeah, if you want to find out what movies I've watched recently, check out my letterbox. I think my latest movie I've watched was Dawn of the Dead, actually. I think. There's probably Bubba Hotep I need to remove a review on there, actually. So yeah, my name is Harry Rice. Thank you guys for watching. My name's Harry Rice. I'm going to say it as many times as I can. And I am out. Peace.